Okay, so welcome back to another video. So in today's video we have, oh, that's a handful right there. So all I see is a bunch of radical symbols and threes, and we have a 1 right there, so at least this expression is different in a sense. Hey, at least I got a title for this video, so that's a lot of threes and radical symbols. So basically we're going to be computing this expression, and let me see if I can read this slowly without messing up. Hopefully I don't. So we have the square root of 3 root of the square root of 3 root of the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 with the power of the square root of 3 root of square root of 3 to the power of square root of 3 plus 1. All that inside expression has the power square root of 3. So hopefully this comes down to a nice answer without anything too convoluted or crazy. So let's see what happens. So first, what I'm going to do is we have our base 3 to the square root of 3. So I'm actually going to rewrite this in a form of the exponents, where the exponent is the fraction itself. So the inside is going to be the numerator, and then outside our index specifically is the denominator. And let's see, we have 3 square root of 3, and then with the power, and I'm just leaving some space just so I have enough room to write what I need to write. So I'm going to write the denominator first. So the denominator is the square root of 3 root of the square root of 3, and then the numerator is going to be this, so square root of 3, and then the root, so square root of 3 to the power of square root of 3 plus 1. Now notice that the numerator and denominator, they both share the same index under the radical. So what this means is I can actually combine our the radicand, so that way it's under one radicand with the same index. So this is 3 times the square root of 3, and so this is square root of 3, and then the root of square root of 3, the power of square root of 3 plus 1, and then divided by the square root of 3. And then now notice that these two share the same base, so I can actually just use our rules of exponents again and write in this is the same thing as the square root of 3 raised to the -1, so I can just move that to the top. So 3, and then square root of 3 to the square root of 3 plus 1 minus 1, and then notice that will cancel, so we're left with this square root of 3 and root square root of 3 and then square root of 3. But also again, I can just like from the beginning, I'm gonna rewrite our base with square root of 3 as such that the exponent is the numerator and the denominator. But notice that if that's the case, we have the square root of 3 as the numerator and the square root of 3 as the denominator. For the heck of it, I'll just show the work instead of having to take the shortcut. So this is square root of 3 divided by square root of 3, and therefore that's just equal to 1. And then we have that it's 3 times the square root of 3 to the power of square root of 3. Okay, so that's our simplified expression of the inside bracket. So when we have that, then we can just simply plug it back in. 3 times the square root of 3, square root of 3, with the power of square root of 3. This is supposed to be a bracket, not parentheses. Okay, and then to the power of square root of 3. And simply you could just distribute, meaning you're just multiplying we're just multiplying our exponents. So this is 3 square root of 3 times square root of 3, or yeah, to the power of square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is simply just 3. Square root of 3. You can hear music outside, sorry about that. Then therefore, that means we have 3 times square root of 3 times 3 times square root of 3, then times 3 times the square root of 3. Okay, now we can simply compute this. So 3 times 3 is 9, okay? Then multiplied by square root 3 times square root of 3, that's just 3, okay? And then multiplied by 3 times the square root of 3, which simply 9 times 3, 27 times 3, 81. So our final answer is just 81 times the square root of 3. And we are done. That was not as bad as I thought it would be, to be honest. However, this is gonna take a while to code this in LaTeX for the thumbnail, so wish me luck. Try not to lose my mind.